Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Home of Comics. This is Brayden and Cole with Cape
Cape
Crusader
Crusader Season 2.
Season 2 review. Has it been a few weeks since the show came out? Yeah.
Probably.
Are we reviewing it now? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 10 episodes, so it's long. I think it's just over 3 hours in terms of total content, maybe a little bit longer than that.
It's only
Um,
25-minute episodes.
yeah, so we probably should have finished this a little bit earlier, but we didn't. I'm sorry. We'll do better next time. If
We
there is a
we at
next
Home of
time.
Comics apologize for that.
Yeah. So I think we'll just take this in as one whole season. Like I don't want to do episode by episode reviews, mostly because a lot of them blend
Yeah.
together. The if
Yeah.
you're unfamiliar with Cape Crusader, it's very much like Batman the Animated Series, except it's TV 14. Although I actually think the finale might have been TVMA. But
I thought they
it's
were all TVMA.
no, they're TV 14. Um,
There were a
but
few episodes
it's
in the middle that were MA.
they it
Because
might have been.
I remember.
Okay. Then a few
I
episodes.
remember seeing that flash on my screen. Like
They do that a little bit
middle of the
sometimes with
season.
like these animated shows. They do like a few episodes that are TV 14, a few that are
It
TVMA.
just depends how brutal they get.
Yeah. But so it's an adult version really of Batman the Animated Series. It's not canon to that. It's in its own universe. It's also set in the 40s, which we'll dig into because I don't love how they did that. And it's obviously season 2, so season 1
You
we'll
didn't
talk
like
about
that?
briefly, but I'll get into why that specifically doesn't work, and in another
Fine.
adaptation that I feel like does a much better job at that. We'll talk about that in a bit. Obviously, this is also a sequel to season 1. It carries over the same plot. But it's
Yep.
got that episode of the week format that the original animated series had. It's executive produced by Matt Reeves and Bruce Timm, who did uh, the original show. So
Yep.
I think that's all the context we need there. Fully standalone,
Yeah.
set in a completely new continuity.
Yep.
Um, I don't know. What are your impressions going into the season? Like we both saw season 1, I think, fairly recently. So like that was really our first look at the
Yeah.
season, our first look at the series. Like I got that like at the beginning of this month, maybe the end of last month. So
I would put this a little under season one. Come by the second half of the season, and
okay,
I think that's because of what they were doing with Edward Nigma,
dude.
and I got I understood it to a degree,
Oh
but
my god.
he just didn't feel like Riddler,
No, well, it wasn't
and
Riddler, right? So it was they called him the
yeah,
Riddler because he riddled bullets
well
and he
he's
was
still
like a
the
mob.
Riddler, but like a different connotation to why he was called the Riddler.
The Riddler. It was because the bullets
Um,
riddled on the
Yeah, and I just didn't like
balls.
that.
Yeah, he was
I
stupid. He was a stupid guy.
and I
Like
get the
overall.
series takes very very creative liberties in its characters and
Hmm.
how they adapt them and kind of changing that to a 40s esque, as you were mentioning, a 40s esque tone
Environment.
and
Yeah.
grounded sense. Um, and I liked how they portrayed certain other characters to this tone, but with Edward Nigma, he just felt like a mob boss. Like you could
Yeah.
have adapted that storyline with like Maroni or
It could have
something.
been Maroni. They
It
literally
could
could have
have
just
been.
made him Maroni, wouldn't have changed anything.
I think it would have worked better if it was like Maroni, and it gave the sense of like more of that underground mafia esque things.
Yeah, I agree. I also feel like they've
I
done
did like
like
the Rose
kind
and
of
Thorn episode though.
that was good. So everyone thought that was Poison Ivy, including literally everyone who covered the show. They all said like first look at Poison Ivy and Cape Crusader season 2. So when the episode came by, I'm like, oh, she's gonna be Poison Ivy. I wonder how they're gonna do that. Her being a kind of a bait and switch for Rose and Thorn, who essentially is like a dual personality character, um, kind of a like Poison Ivy in some ways, but definitely not like the same character. I
Right,
thought that that was a really interesting way of going about things. The fact that she is essentially the person who kills the Riddler and kicks off the finale, that
right.
was really good writing. Those last 3 episodes, I feel like, were the best of the season because,
I my well, I'll get into it, but I think my favorite was episode three.
well, let me just say too that like the first few episodes all blend together in my head because they're all very standalone.
No, well, I get that. It's just episode three felt like something entirely on its own, especially
Right.
since we don't really get Batman in that episode.
No, it
Um,
is fully its own thing.
it's Matches
Um,
Malone,
right.
and I thought that undercover Bruce Wayne thing, it could have been expanded a bit more, but I loved it. And it instantly became my favorite episode of the season. But the Rose and Thorn episode is probably my second, and it ended off Riddler's arc, I guess, on a positive note, but like it just dragged on a little too long.
Right. So he was
Um,
the replacement for Thorne for was it
right,
Richard Thorne? I don't remember his first name. I might have gotten that wrong.
Rupert Thorne.
Rupert Thorne.
Yeah,
Who was the main villain kind of season one. It was really yeah, I mean I guess he was, right? Because Harvey Dent
yeah,
was briefly, but then he became good again. So
yeah.
uh yeah, Rupert Thorne was kind of the villain of season one. The main villain of this season is the Joker, but it doesn't really kick in until episode nine, right? Or episode eight? I think it's episode
Um,
nine.
episode 8. The end of episode 8 sets up the last two episodes.
Right, but that's the Rose and
Um,
Thorn episode is episode eight. So
no, the
episode
Rose and Thorn episode is episode 7.
oh
Episode 8 is what's his name? Dead Zero, no, Zero something.
oh
Dead
yeah,
Zero?
it's like Mr. Freeze, but it's not Mr. Freeze. That's how
Yeah,
I sort of
it's like
interpreted
a
it.
statuesque version of Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, it's a weird take on
Um,
Mr. Freeze. I didn't really like that episode. That had Carrie though, which was good.
yeah,
Robin.
it continued
Um
Carrie's storyline.
yeah, which I think that is Bruce Timm's favorite Robin, I think, or maybe it's Matt Reeves' favorite
I
Robin.
think it's Matt Reeves.
Yeah, but they're
Yeah,
a big fan of Carrie Kelly, so that makes a lot of sense that she's sort of the Robin, quote unquote, of this world. Uh, yes, so that was really that I appreciate about the episode. I hated the. I don't know if it was Mr. Freeze or if it was another like D-lister that I just didn't know
no, it
about.
wasn't Mr. Freeze. It was
Okay,
I think his name was Dead Zero,
all
or
right.
something like
Look
that.
up if he's in the comics because I genuinely have never heard of
Dead
this guy.
Zone? No,
No, he was like a frozen. He himself was like frozen in place, but
I
he
can't believe I'm
liked
forgetting his
to
name.
freeze.
0 Hour.
Zero Hour was the name of the
Mr. Zero. Mr. Zero.
Mr. Zero. Okay, you know who that sounds a whole lot like? Mr. Negative. It's not at all the
Oh,
same, but
he is Mr. Freeze. Oh,
yeah, that was their adaptation of Mr. Freeze. That's what I thought. Because with Rose and Thorn, it's like
wow.
that is an actual comic book character. So that wasn't an adaptation of Poison Ivy. They're similar characters, but they're
Yeah,
not the
he was
same.
an adaptation of um, Mr. Freeze in the 50s,
Oh, so they
which
really
I guess
did.
it does fit the
It
zone.
fits
I mean,
this. Yeah,
because their adaptations of these characters are stemming from when they kind of originated, and kind of
true.
their golden their what's the name,
The Golden Age.
golden age. Yeah, I'm stupid.
I will say,
um
I don't like Golden Age Joker really at all. I do read comics. Most of the comics I read are those first ones, because I'm a stickler for orders and I love to read everything in as much of a chronological order as I can. So I get a lot of those '40s Joker stories when I do read comics, DC that is, um, and he's very much like the '50s '40s esque Joker, but that Joker sucks. Like, I don't actually know how that Joker became the Joker we all know and love, because the Joker in the first few issues of the Batman comic book is not that appealing. Like, he is very much
I
a normal ass
I
villain.
disagree with you a little bit.
Have you read like Batman number one specifically?
I have not,
It
but
is, but that Joker is specifically what they're adapting here. And while it is
yeah, I
true to
know
that
that.
comic, I really do believe that it is not the definitive version of Joker at all. It's not a Joker that
It's not
I
the definitive
understand why
version
they're
of Joker,
adapting
but
it.
I think it is a good portrayal of Joker. It's not the
Okay,
definitive one,
all
but
right,
I do like the take they go with, because um when Joker was written, there's some it was think he was based off a film noir character.
He was based off of The Man Who Laughs, I think was the name of
The
the
Man Who
character.
Laughs. Yeah.
I could be wrong, but obviously they ended up adapting that very far down the line with The Batman Who Laughs. They took full inspiration for that.
He's based off The Man Who Laughs.
Yes, I have not watched that movie. It's on my watch list. I have wanted to, because when Joker 2 came out, I got that recommended. So that's been in my watch list for about 2 years now. I don't remember the name, but that was a 20s movie, I believe, that they took full inspiration from. I can kind of delve now that we've talked about film noir. I want to get to an adaptation. I have not seen the finale of this season. It's the only episode I've not watched. Spider Noir, I think, actually does what Cape Crusader does, but in a better way. So I recommend, Cole, if you've liked this show, I don't know what you rated this season or what you ended up liking it. I suggest you watch Spider Noir, because I think what Spider Noir does is what this show wanted to do, and I think it does it better. I
think they achieve what they're planning on doing. That's where we disagree.
I think from the politics standpoint, I think that this show falls very flat. I don't think that it navigates through 30s, 40s era politics the way it should. And that might be because Bruce Timm doesn't want to get super political. It might be because Matt Reeves doesn't want to get super political. And I'm not saying the show
that wouldn't be Matt Reeves. I mean, we have the Batman, which was super political.
Reeves is typically able to bring but he focuses solely on corruption. That's like his main thing. He's very anti-corruption. And so,
I mean, bureaucracy is a huge part of politics, though.
Yeah, I think that in terms of what Cape Crusader is, it does focus very much on that anti-corruption. A lot of Rupert Thorne is a mob boss, right? He's the main villain of season 1, so he's out of here. Joker is, in a lot of ways, if we think back to Heath Ledger's interpretation of the Joker, he's basically another mob boss, right? And even in this, like, he's not that different.
Well,
right?
He's not really a mob boss here.
No, he functions as one. I thought it was very 2000 Dark Knight-esque.
I disagree. I don't think he functions as
the way that he took over the Riddler's operations and said, like, you all work for me now.
Yeah,
to me,
that's what Joker does. He steals, and he doesn't really care about the money, obviously, and kind of resources, and he's just about creating chaos, which is what it's not what a mob does, though.
No, I agree.
Mob isn't about forming chaos. It's about stealing.
He uses the mob as a front to do what he needs to do, is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I think Joker's done that in, like, most portrayals.
I've always viewed him as more of a criminal.
Batman. If we go by movies and shows, Batman '89, he does that.
Okay, he does do it in all the main adaptations, but
The Dark Knight, he does that.
When I think of comic book Joker, though, I think of a crazed lunatic who escapes Arkham, and every single second that he's out of Arkham, he's trying to cause as much chaos as possible. He's not trying to go in, organize, and then cause the chaos. He doesn't care about that aspect of it from what I've seen in the comics. He's much more, I need to create as much chaos as possible. Now, he has a group that runs for him, but they're not your typical gang, right? They're also crazed lunatics that want to praise the Joker. Right. So I understand why it can't do that here, and I'm okay with that. But my point was that even when they're adapting someone as crazy as the Joker, the very first thing on their mind is, how can we tie this back to the anti-corruption storyline? I think it's something that Bruce Timm has a lot of. He likes that. But I do think that this, and I want to mention, I don't actually think that this show isn't quote-unquote woke. We see there's a lesbian romance, there's plenty of race swapping. Like, on a surface level, it's got that, like, woke baggage to it. But my point is, it's not willing to delve into the politics of the 30s and 40s. So that's not, I don't think Bruce Timm or Matt Reeves wanted to do that. I think they wanted to create a modern retelling of the 40s Batman, which might work in a better setting, but without being able to confront the race politics, the sex politics of the time, you're unable to delve into it the way you'd want to. So Spider Noir doesn't do this amazing. Noir doesn't do this perfectly well either. They definitely shy. Right. There's obviously people of color in the show, but
they do address, like, what would be considered odd at the time, right?
Noir,
Um,
Spider Noir,
and no, I'm talking about
Cape
like
Crusader.
noir as a genre. Like
Oh yes,
they go into discrimination and
minority representation is really important in film noir now, because I think without having people of color specifically in the show, or in a movie or that you do, I think you run that because it's normally set in the 30s. Like I do want that is like a trope that I want to see happen. So
Mhm.
in Spider Noir, you might be familiar with Robbie Robertson. He's a reporter at the Daily Bugle. He's in the show. He's Nicolas Cage's like basically right hand man for a lot of this stuff. And there is a particular scene where there's this guy who you don't really perceive as racist. He doesn't really make a lot of racist claims. He he goes up to Robbie, I think, but it might have also been Tombstone, who's also black in the show, and says something like, "You don't want to know." Oh, I'm sorry, it's not a guy, it's Felicia Hardy. She's like, "You don't want. I don't want to. Get attacked by. You don't know the optics of being attacked by a black man, right?" Like that was sort of the way that they approached that. So it was a very small little thing, but obviously
Okay.
it's something we don't see in the
Okay.
show. And like
I I do agree with you here. I
a
do agree
black
with
police commissioner should draw attention, and it doesn't. And I think Jim Gordon's. I'm fine with him being a black character. That's not the issue. And actually, I think Matt Reeves want him to be black because of his interpretation of him in the Batman. Um, my
you. It
issue
also
is
could be a thing that the Joker would play on. Like, would he
possibly
feed into discrimination um,
Joker is an
and these
interesting character
politics
though
in this
because
era?
he's not a fan of that. Like he's far more of an equal opportunity sadist than he is genuinely going after someone for the way they look and the way they are.
Well, in
Because
the
he looks
modern
crazy
era,
too.
yeah, but
But even back in like the 70s or 80s comics, he was not like discriminatory towards if there was
okay.
a female super, like the worst thing he's ever done
Well, the thing
was
is, they're not
sexually
adapting from
assault
these
Barbara
70s and
Gordon.
80s comics. They're adapting from even further back.
Right, but
In
you have to take the context of those comics still exists when you watch this show.
yeah,
This is releasing in 2026, so you're still
yeah,
taking the viewers still have the 80s comics in their mind. They have that's why I was comparing him to Heath Ledger because you still have that in your mind. That predates this. Like you're not making this in the 40s. You're making this in 2026.
mhm.
So I don't want to harp on this for too much longer because there's still other aspects I want to cover about the show. But when we talk about that aspect of the show, it falls completely flat. And the only thing I think they maybe do with some semblance of care is the lesbian romance between Renee and Harley Quinn. But the thing
Yeah.
is that it's so that is also very surface level. You don't care about it. I didn't feel emotionally attached to it, and so I,
Well, I
yeah, they
wasn't
keep it a
as
secret. They don't,
attached to it
but
either, but that's because I have some issues with how they adapt Harley Quinn in the
spit,
first place.
spit.
I just I feel like as you're talking about the romance, it's surface
Mhm.
level, and I
Right,
think that's just her characterization in the
right.
show. I
No,
think
I agree.
she's a very surface level character that doesn't really we don't see much of her character outside of the surface level stuff that's presented to us. Um, yeah, and that's just simply my take. It's just I feel like we could have given her a better story and adapted her a little better.
I think I like what they did. I just think that they didn't give her enough space to be a character.
Yeah.
She's a
Oh
main
yeah.
part of season one for most of it, and she's basically here for an episode, I think, in season two, or maybe a few. Not crazy.
I
She
think
has a
she's in
team up.
one or two.
She's a team up with Batman, which is good because obviously it leans into that like anti-hero side of things that we now know.
Yeah.
And Harley Quinn wasn't around the 40s. There is no Harley Quinn to go back to. You could
Right.
do the 90s version of her in the 40s, but it wouldn't work as well. So I like that they kind of took what she is modern day, took what she was in the 90s, made a mix of it, put her in the 40s. That aspect of it is good. I think that the problems come when she has no attachment to the Joker at all. It's a main part of her
Right.
character. I
Right.
don't think there's a way to properly adapt her without her either having once been the lover of Joker or is currently the lover of Joker. It's essential that she has that symbiotic relationship with him, but she learns to detach herself, or not symbiotic, parasitic would be the better term, that she has
Hmm.
with Joker, and then either leeching away off of it or staying put. I'm actually okay with the Harley Quinn in the DCU, for example, that maybe has always been with Joker and doesn't detach. Like if they want to consider that aspect of the Suicide Squad not canon, I just think at some point she needs to find herself and be her own independent character. But however long they want to take to get to that point is fine with me. Because both versions of Harley Quinn I love. I love when she's basically Joker's sidekick, and I love when she's a new independent woman free of Joker and is far more of an anti-hero.
Yeah.
But that is the progression you have to take. You have to do one of those two things. They don't do either, and that's where it falls flat.
Yeah, I agree. Has season 3 been greenlit yet?
No, my personal take is that this is the last season. We see at the end
I think it
a,
might.
a far more of a finality than I would have presumed. I expected them to end on a cliffhanger. They do, but it's not in a way that really needs a sequel. Joker doesn't die, but is very clearly hurt. Uh, and they're like,
Wait, I
until we
thought he
find the
does die.
body, I don't think he's dead.
I mean, he gets impaled and he falls off a
But
building.
this show also leans into fantastical. It is not grounded.
Yeah,
And
but I think it made it clear. How would he
but then
have
Batman
survived
killed him. Batman killed him. I don't think there's another way of interpreting that in a different way. I mean, you could do the Batman Begins logic where it's like, oh, he didn't save him, but like I think he killed him there. And you know, this
Yeah,
Batman doesn't kill either, which is good. I don't like any adaptation of Batman where he's killing people. I just don't think it works.
yeah.
Uh, if he kills him though, that's the final act for
I
Batman. You know,
I
like
just think
that's
they
his end.
should have kept Joker. If they even wanted a season 3 and to continue, they should have kept Joker's arc ongoing
Mm.
because it kind of felt like, to your point, it kind of did feel like we were just getting started with him.
I don't think he's dead, to be fair. I think that they make that clear when they're like, until there's a body, he could still be out there, which to me is very classic writing of
But again, he
he's
gets
still out there.
impaled and falls off a cliff.
We have the Spectre in the show. We
In the
have the
same
Spectre in
fashion
the
as
show.
Batman 89 and The Dark Knight. I mean,
The Dark Knight, he wasn't meant to die.
yeah. But
Batman 89, he
no,
wasn't
no,
meant
no,
to
no.
die,
I mean, like
actually.
this is the third time we've seen him fall off a cliff and die.
Right. But
Maybe third time. Maybe
he's like
one.
laughing as he goes. Like, I feel like there's a bigger plan there. Also, the Joker is very
I don't know.
calculated and cold. He's not the, that is the 40s Joker in a nutshell. He wasn't the laughing stock. He was very smart, very calculated, very cunning. He's still smart and calculated in the comics today. I'm just saying that he obviously insanity is his first play. He'll make a smart move later. He wants to cause chaos first. This Joker was cold, calculated from the start. I think that the threat of what happens, where everyone's like undead basically, and also like laughing like crazy and all trying to kill each other, that is a very brutal, like zombie esque storyline, and I think it works well. So
It
I really
works.
like the
Yeah.
finale. Um, but I would argue that like aside from the last 3 episodes, which is when Joker is really at his prominent, and then of course Rose and Thorn that episode, this show is not that good. Like I think again, a third of it's good, really good, like 8, 9 out of 10 good.
I'll
The
give it
rest
more than a
is
third of it being good.
some of
Like
those standalone
I
episodes
do.
though are not that
I
interesting.
think we starkly disagree here because I really do like what they're doing, and I'd like a variety of episodes here. Um, yeah, I liked how they ended Riddler with Rose and Thorn. I
Mm-hmm.
liked I liked the Matches Malone episode.
Right.
Uh, I think Scarecrow's episode was kind of weak. It was
Well, they
actually,
tried to do a bait and switch, but we knew that the guy was Jonathan Crane. So not once in my head was
yeah,
I like, it's the old guy. Like I knew it was his
yeah,
TA. So I just it's an interesting way of doing Scarecrow where the crow is the aspect that is really there and not
right.
Scarecrow. But we're good. I think we're good on that. I didn't get anything from
And,
that adaptation
and
where I
the
was
way that
like,
they
that's
did the
needs to
fear
happen.
toxin was very, I guess, bare bones and like everything we've seen before. Because I mean,
There
it
is
kind of
no difference between that scare
that.
toxin and what they do in like Arkham, for instance.
Well, I was gonna say Batman Begins.
Sure.
It felt like
Yeah.
the same, the same story beats towards the end
They
as
literally
that.
have him look into that the same way that like a
Yeah,
scary Batman. Like it was literally shot for shot Batman Begins essentially.
Yeah.
Uh,
So that episode is definitely probably my weakest, I'd say.
I mean, I love Scarecrow as a villain. He's one of my favorites. I just don't.
Yeah, me too.
It was just whatever. Like I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
but Mr. Freeze, that episode really wasn't good from a villain standpoint. Really wasn't good. Not an interesting
Yeah.
take on Mr. Freeze
It
at all, in
was
my opinion.
that
Carrie
episode
Kelly's
was
great,
mid.
but
Uh
yeah, no,
but
5 out of 10,
think
perfect for that
I think
episode.
I think that episode is definitely carried by Carrie.
Yeah.
And
Batman is
there's
so uncharacteristic when he talks to her in the beginning. He's like, "Get away from me." I know he's a
oh
loner, but like that feels out of character for even this Batman.
yeah,
It was too aggressive. I mean, way too aggressive. This is a Batman that will almost certainly take on a Robin at
I
some point in his
think
career.
it would have worked if they built the tension more for Batman,
Right.
and like he was just in a pissy mood.
Yeah.
If they built that more, it would have worked. But I agree with you. I was like, ooh, that's a little aggressive.
I don't know if there's other things you want to cover about the season. There's one more point I wanted to bring up, and it was Mad Hatter. Gender swap Mad
Oh,
Hatter doesn't matter.
I
Not at
liked
all.
what they did with her. I
So
think establishing her as kind of like the, I don't know, like Tucker Carlson of
talk show host. Yeah, I
Gotham.
mean, really, not even
Yeah.
Tucker. It was a slight
Yeah.
misinformation booster.
It's like if Jimmy Fallon was evil.
Jimmy Fallon was a little bit more unwilling to tell the truth, kind of give their own spin on things. Just Tucker
Yeah.
Carlson, actually. That might not be a bad example, but not as disliked as Tucker is now. Like I feel like Tucker's not really. He's a very niche.
When he was
person.
on Fox News.
Maybe, but then not that aggressive. It's a weird mix. Anyway, she was fine, but first of all, I thought we would see Mad Hatter as like a real villain. That does not happen. 2, she gets killed off at the penultimate episode.
Yep.
It feels very unceremonious. It kind of just feels like, oh, Mad Hatter was here because it was Mad Hatter. Could that have been anyone else? Probably. Like you could have made that anyone else.
I think because they had her in like every episode before that.
No, but I mean, like you couldn't. You didn't have to make it the Mad Hatter. It could have been like any reporter from Gotham.
Oh,
you know, like
you're talking about the character.
Yeah.
No, you're talking about.
We're talking about literally making it the Mad Hatter. I feel like it's unique, it's cool, I'm not mad at it, but it felt like they were teasing us with something different than what ended up happening. So it felt like a little bit of a
I think
cop-out.
She was kind of stagnant. She was a very stagnant character.
Well, yeah,
like,
but I assumed a switch, and it never happened.
She died.
So I'm telling you that like I didn't like that staticness because I expected a character switch.
You expected her to be a main villain at some point.
Possibly,
yeah.
Tee it up for season 3, which they might not even do.
I will say the cult episode was really good.
That's a new thing, by the way, in the comics. That's like a really new thing. So they took that as just.
But like I did like that because
that was a fine episode. Yeah, I
liked that episode, and I liked what they did with her in that episode as well.
I thought that episode was fine. But a few of the standalone ones in the beginning just were very disappointing. Either like literally just mid, or just like I got bored and I would have rated it even lower if we were doing it episode by episode, because it's just like I don't care. It's like what happened with My Adventures with Superman. Once we had some of those episodes where it wasn't giving me much of anything, I don't care. You have a 10-episode season. You need to be giving me main plot every episode. So when you don't do that, I feel like you're trying to do the format of a 28 or a 24 episode season in 10. You can't do that in this day and age. You need to be advancing the story. And some of those don't do that. At least not to the degree that you need to be doing them for a 25 minute.
I definitely think they should have put more effort into it as they did with the animated series, for sure.
Of course, yes.
Especially with their villains, because that's a central. That's probably one of the best aspects of the animated series is how they adapt these villains and Batman's kind of allegiance to try to save them, to try to help them.
Yeah. Well, that's what Batman is. He doesn't try to help really anybody in this show. He's just kind of a beat 'em up simulator, throw him in jail. Like it's just.
Well, he does in season 1. He doesn't as much here.
Yeah, maybe that's true.
At least with I'm thinking about the Nocturna episode, um, where she,
Yes, but she was
where
also very sympathetic, so that was almost like a
yeah,
different case
yeah,
entirely. He does try to like, I guess,
that's
kind of
true.
save the Joker, but like he's not really like he's not the merciful Batman. He's this
Yeah,
staunch. He's like what people think Batman is. If you told someone who Batman was, and then they just like had to kind of think about what that meant to them. Like he is that like vigilante that stalks crime and gets them out of like
yeah,
it's like a normie's opinion of Batman without really any knowledge at all. Just seems
yeah,
shallow.
yeah.
But we're at the
All
30-minute
right.
mark, so I think it's probably time to
Yeah.
just kind of give our ratings. Uh
Oh, I did not think about this.
I know what I'm gonna give it. It might actually seem a little bit high, just considering what how I've talked about it. But I
You're
do
gonna
not think
give it
that
a
this
five, right?
that's what I'm gonna give it, you think? You like to guess what I'm gonna give it.
I always, whenever I'm editing your reviews, I literally guess your ratings
Mm-hmm.
before they actually pop up, and I'm 100%.
So you're
So
not 100% anymore because I'm gonna give this a 6 out of 10. Um, I-
what?
I'll say that the worst part about it is something I didn't even really touch on. It's actually a thing you like, and I just don't. The animation style is not good.
Damn.
I don't like it. It's not for me.
No, but I like it, especially the last three episodes. They definitely pumped it up.
And I'll tell
Um,
you what, just to give you a reverse example, I typically enjoy the what if animation, and I know you don't at all. So there you go. That's the thing that we
all
just
right,
disagree on animation style, I think.
our viewers, let us know if you like the what if animation
I actually have
in
a
the
question
comments.
unrelated. Do you like the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man animation?
I haven't
The
seen it.
it looks like a comic book, basically 3D animated comic book. I think it actually looks quite good.
I have to see it.
Yeah.
I like.
Um.
I mean, this isn't a very hot take, but I really love Spider Verse animation.
Oh,
But
dude,
like,
I don't think
that's not
anyone
a hot.
doesn't. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think anyone doesn't. What are you gonna
But
give this season?
I'm in between a 6 or a 7.
Uh,
And
Commit to one, and then you can always just pretend
I
like
mean,
you.
since you're giving it a 6, I'll give it a 7 because I'm
Okay.
definitely higher on this than you.
Okay.
I'm not sure why you have it as high as you do.
I
You have not given a very you have
towards
not given a positive
so
take
I did
against
though
this
because
movie,
towards the end of the show
but
it
you
really
did a
does
little
become
bit.
really good. Like the last 3 episodes are good, like really good.
Yeah,
I'm even bordering on great. All eights or nines out of 10. The issue is just the first half to even the last, like the 2/3 are like mid at best. So like that's sort of what I'm competing with here. Is I would have given this show like a 4 or a 5, but those last 3 episodes really did boost that shit to like a 6.
but
And
you didn't like the third last episode.
what do you mean? The Rose and Thorn one?
No, episode
Oh,
again. Mr. Freeze was episode 8.
oh, 7, 9, and 10 then. There you go. Those are the ones I liked.
Okay,
I keep forgetting that they didn't. Okay, yeah.
yeah.
7, 9,
Um,
and 10.
but like, and I like all those episodes, and I like Matches Malone episode 3. I like the Cult episode.
The
Other
Rocket
than
one
that, it's
was so bland.
the Rocket one was bland. Outside
That's
of
like a
that,
3.
outside of those episodes, I'm a bit mid on those as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll give this season a 7 out of 10.
Well, that's all we have for you
And
guys.
I had for context for season 1, since we didn't review that, I had
Yeah.
that as a 9 out of 10.
I had that as a 5. We were so heavily split on Batman
Oh,
season
okay,
1. It's
okay.
crazy we even got to a basically a consensus here because yeah, like I would have straight up given that a 5. This is maybe slightly better. I could see myself giving this a 5 in like another if I was to rewatch it, which I probably never will, but
Maybe
I
you'll
will
give
stick with a
season 3 a
6.
7, and it
So
continues to go
that's
up.
what I was gonna say. That's all we have for you guys. But if there's season
Yep.
3, we'll be back to cover
We'll
it.
cover it.
I don't think we're gonna get a season 3, but I don't care if we do or
Yeah.
not. It's like Harley Quinn season 6. I hated season 5 so much that I'm at the point where like if they want to cancel the show, they should. But like I have a feeling that they're gonna give us a Harley Quinn season 6, and I'll still be able to cover it. But like, holy shit, do I not want to watch that? But hopefully a season 3 of this would be better than that. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below your thoughts on Cape Crusader season 2. And again, we'll see you guys if season 3 ever drops. All right, peace.
Peace.